Hello, my name is David Wagner. I'm the Global VP at Stellar Cyber of our global MSSPs, GSIs, and master MSSPs. And today we're interviewing our tremendous partner led by Mr. Stephan Tallent from Highwire Networks, a master MSSP. Stephan is the CRO. Stephan, would you like to introduce yourself and say hello?
Yeah, Stephan Tallent, Chief Revenue Officer here at Highwire Networks. Been in the business quite a while, serving and supporting managed security service provider operations. So glad to be here.
The topic we're going to talk about today is where is the market going and why are master MSSPs becoming so prevalent and so necessary? Tell me a little bit about Highwire Networks and what exactly is Overwatch?
Yeah, so Highwire Networks has been in business for 23 years, providing security, technical services and support. Overwatch is our security operations center as a service sort of operation. So what Overwatch does is basically blend a variety of different security services to match end customer requirements, but exclusively sold through and positioned through our service provider partners. So our MSP partners, our value-added reseller partners. So we don't sell anything direct. It's 100% a sort of a master MSSP, you use that term. I think it's a good description of what we do, but basically we support the MSP. In many scenarios, that's an MSP that is a security first MSP, as more of these MSP partners that we're working with seem to be. And we basically support those types of partners in delivering leading edge security services that are hardware or technology inclusive, that include the technology, people, and process behind making the service viable as a risk reduction tool.
So, Stephan, tell me, are you seeing the same trend? Are more and more people finding Highwire and saying, I've got these problems, my customers are not happy, and I need to do this?
Yeah, absolutely, David. So 40,000 or so MSPs out there that I think we can all kind of agree address the SMB and mid-market, which is 60% of the GDP for this country, right? So a massive amount of service delivery to the IT as a service needs for SMB and mid-enterprise. And those MSPs are taking care of those customers every day and have done so for the past 2 decades. The thing that has changed here, David, is that customers are coming to those MSPs and going, hey, look, I'm petrified about, being taken out of business. 60% of businesses that are breached, or SMBs that are breached, are out of business within 90 days of being breached. So it's a real risk state that the small businesses and those companies are coming to their MSPs asking for better security solutions. But the challenge is that there's a negative unemployment rate amongst cybersecurity operators. So the MSPs are challenged to do that. So what they've done is they've started selling security technologies to their customers. And now we get into this sort of security technology sprawl, where none of these technologies are really designed to work together. So it creates a real operationalization. I don't think that's a word, but an operational challenge for those MSPs as to how to make that security technology work to reduce the risk that are facing their customers. So absolutely, I think it's a critical thing that we've seen sort of growing today as security becomes more top of mind for even the smallest business out there.
How does Stellar Cyber help you ingest all that information and take all the complexities and knowledge so you can deliver a quality service?
Well, for one, I think we have a great sort of recruiting path for bringing in cybersecurity operators into the organization. For one, there's that, right? And then with that capability, the ability for us to build the bench of cybersecurity experts and professionals, we're able to reduce the complexity of the underlying technologies and convert the technologies into a service, right? So it simplifies the different security service components, the technology components, because it basically is broken down into a consumable for the customer. So our partners are able to basically position a business outcome around risk reduction rather than individual technologies that are under the covers, right? And they're all working together, but they're working together because we've operationalized them to the extent that they can be positioned as a business outcome by our MSP partners to their customers.
What is the biggest challenge for operationalizing it for those MSSPs for an SMB customer? How fast can you get them up and running with a monitored service that gives them the outcome they're looking for to keep their crown jewels and IP safe?
Within days. So in many scenarios, we're dropping, the technologies, the sensors into the customer's environment, and within days, we're seeing bad things happening that can be mitigated immediately. So I'd say within days and not months.
There are XDR platforms, but they're closed platforms. Everything about Palo Alto or Cisco or Microsoft. So is an open XDR critically important, even though the closed XDRs have machine learning as well?
Yeah, I think the open XDR versus, sort of the closed XDR concept, I think many security vendors out there are looking to drive a better or a broader investment in their technologies with their customers. So they call their solutions an XDR. We embrace the open concept because, again, you're not going to land in a situation where you can pull everything out and replace it with, a single vendor. It's just not reality. The reality is there's different technologies out there that you as the MSP partner to your customer can't just rip and replace. So you need to be able to work with the technologies that are there and better operationalize. And that is the demand, is the requirement to better operationalize and extend detection and response across everything. And that means you can't just replace everything. It's just not viable to do that. So that's why we like the open XDR concept and the capabilities in the Stellar platform from that perspective.
Fantastic. So what's on the horizon for Howard? How are you going to keep differentiating yourself? What's new coming down the pike that's going to keep you on the cutting edge of being the best at what you do?
We think that zero trust networking and SASE are really going to be a growing adoption component to what's happening, and in both of those scenarios, you'll see us leveraging the Stellar Cyber platform to better operationalize those security technology capabilities, right? So we're going to continue to move down the path of making services that are consumable, cost-effective, and with a high level of security efficacy. We'll be continuing to bring those kind of services to our partners.
But what are the number 1 and 2 objections you get from end customers and MSPs on why they resist your service when they're struggling so mightily?
Ransomware attacks, supply chain attacks, those are hitting things other than endpoints. And I need to broaden the security functionality that I have out there. But I would say that if there is any resistance, it's to partners that haven't recognized the requirement for detection and response across the threat landscape. So that would be one of the objections. Why do I need a SIM? Why do I need to have the functionality to extend detection and response to a firewall, to the collaboration suite, to the cloud, right? That's the only objection we get, and that's getting rarer and rarer because I think many of our partners are very, very smart around security. So less objections around a breadth of security, but I would still say that there is some awareness that is growing amongst certain partners that they need to do better from that perspective, and that resistance is starting to reduce.
So what kind of metrics and reporting and ROI that you produce on a monthly basis to your clients to show them what a great job you're doing, how things are getting better, trending the right way? That's an ROI, right? Do you have that type of metrics and materials available?
Yeah, absolutely. We basically indicate where we've been able to reduce risk by isolating, pretty much the kill chain wheel, right? Where we're basically saying, hey, here's what we saw. Here are some potential persistent threats, so that our partner can basically position that with their customers. So it's pretty much around reporting.
First of all, thank you, Stephen, for having this conversation with me. We are tremendously excited to have you as a master MSSP partner with Stellar Cyber. And without partners like you, people are still going to struggle, no matter how easy the easy button is. And they still need that skill set to understand how to make it work. And we really appreciate your capabilities in that regard.